Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lysha and I'm the owner of Lysha Be Creative, and today we are back with yet another tutorial. But before I tell you what is going on for today's tutorial, I wanted to share with you the giveaway winner from my Holiday Freshie giveaway. So as you guys know, my very last tutorial was a tutorial showing you some brand new products that I was sent and showing you guys how to create some Holiday Freshies for those last minute gifts or for just making your house smell amazing. So this is our winner for that goodie package full of items to help you create a set of Freshies for yourself. So congratulations to our winner. Definitely make sure to check out the description and how to contact me so I can get your package sent out to you. For today's tutorial, we are going to be making a winter floral design today. And this is all using vinyl and glitter from the brand new Maestra Creations Vinyl Bundle for the month of November. So I'm going to unbox that in today's video, as well as show you how to put together this super cute cup. So of course, everything I use in today's tutorial will be listed and linked down in the description box down below. Be sure to check that description box out for discount codes as well as links to all of my social media. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Hi everybody, so of course we have to start with a little bit of an unboxing and showing you all of the vinyl and glitter that was part of this month's subscription. So I get the vinyl subscription box from Maestra Creations, and that gets me 5 glitters already in shakers, as well as a set of vinyl patterns that match the glitter for that month. So this is what was in this month's package for the month of November, and I'm already in love with the gorgeous colors. Cannot wait to use those. And of course, now we're going to take a look at the vinyl. So the vinyl can come in regular opaque vinyl, which means it has that solid white backing, or sometimes it'll be in a semi-transparent or transparent bundle as well. So the one that we're going to be using today is a semi-transparent, which means it has a white backing under all the florals that we're using today. But if you're looking to sign up for this, you can sign up for her subscription boxes at the end of the month on her website, or you can get these individually, usually released towards the end of the month as well. So these are the ones that we're going to be using for today's tutorial. We're using Snowtastic, Night Sky, and then of course that beautiful floral winter design. So to start off, I have prepped a 30-ounce tumbler from Maker Flow Crafts. I've just spray painted this with just a blue spray paint that I had on hand, and now we're going to go in and we're going to add some Mod Podge to be able to get our glitter down. So the glitter that we're going to be using over top of the Mod Podge here is going to be Night Sky. So Night Sky, if you are familiar with Maestra Creations glitter, is a chunkier cut of blueberry, which is literally one of my favorite colors from Maestra Creations. So now I have a chunkier version to go with my blueberry when I want to stack and create an ombre with those colors. So it's a beautiful navy color, and I absolutely love this color. Perfect for those winter cups, perfect for honestly holiday cups as well, to give kind of that, you know, navy and silver look. Is such a beautiful, like, classic holiday color as well. Definitely a great color you'll want to add to your collection. So we're going to go in with Night Sky. You guys know I like to just start at the top and bottom rim, and then of course go over the entire rest of the cup, making sure that I get full coverage. I'm only going to do 1 coat of glitter on this cup. This is a chunky mix, so I do have a lot of smaller pieces that do take up all of the Mod Podge and covers everything really nicely. But I also have to keep in mind that because this is a little bit of a chunkier color, we're definitely going to want to make sure that we smush this down with some parchment paper. So now while the Mod Podge is still wet, just taking a piece of parchment paper and just putting my cup in the center, and you can either roll the cup or roll your actual tumbler back and forth with the arm just to get that to smush down. We'll do that for the bottom as well. So we're going to go ahead and put this under epoxy for 2 full coats of epoxy. I am currently still using the Lightning Cure epoxy. It has really helped me to get my cups done super quick, and I really am still enjoying using this. My other go-to for a fast set is usually KS Resin Liquidy Split. So I have used both of those, and those are definitely been my fan favorites so far, but I am still of course always on the hunt for trying new epoxies. So now that that has been under 2 coats of epoxy, we're going to go ahead and do our regular sanding routine, which means we're going to start by focusing on the top rim, making sure to knock down any sharp or pokey bits that may have happened throughout the course of epoxying, just with the glitter sticking straight up. So we're going to get a nice thin stainless steel rim exposed at the top rim so that our final coats of epoxy can adhere right at the top top and not over the edge of the rim. So once I'm done with that and getting that all nice and sanded, we'll then begin our focus on the bottom edge of the cup as well. Just again, making sure we have a nice smooth surface and making sure we don't have a wobbly bottom. Nobody likes a wobbly butt, so definitely make sure that you check for that as well. So now that we're done sanding, after we're finished, we're literally going to just go into adding our vinyl wrap. So as I mentioned, this is a semi-transparent vinyl that we're going to be using, which means that under all of the detailing, there is a white backing, which really allows you to be able to see this as bright and prominent and in your face as it looks on that white backing sheet. So I absolutely love semi-transparent vinyl because it really gives you a super unique look, and it's perfect for over a glittered cup because everywhere it's clear, you're able to see that beautiful glitter shining right underneath. So we're going to do a full wrap using this entire sheet on the cup. So you guys know my typical routine. I love to just use my cradle to help me hold my cup in place, and then we're going to fold back the backing off of the vinyl and then adhere one edge about an inch or so. And then of course we'll flip this away from me because I always find it's easier to wrap it when it is facing away from me than towards me. And we'll just use both our fingers and a squeegee tool to get this wrapped all the way around. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that with this type of vinyl, a semi-transparent vinyl, because it's got that mostly clear backing, this typically does not stretch as other vinyl types. So your opaque vinyls are going to stretch a little bit more than these kind of semi-transparent vinyls. So definitely something to keep in mind, because you may find that you have a little bit more of a difficult time trying to wrap your cup trying to wrap the vinyl around the cup without getting any of those wrinkles. So take your time with this. As you'll see here, I did run into a little bit of issue here, just trying to make sure that I was getting a completely straight edge, no wrinkles, no bumps, nothing of the sort. So I really just went back and forth, and when I felt like I was going to end up with a wrinkle, I just pulled the backing and the vinyl back up and just placed that back down. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through the rest of this, and we're going to go ahead and show you how we get the top and bottom edges cleaned up. Now that the vinyl meets on the other side, I'm just going to take my craft knife and very carefully find the edge of the vinyl and just cut along and remove the excess vinyl that is along the longer part of the cup. So remove that section. You can save it for a pen, you can save it for another project, whatever you'd like to do with that sort of scrap piece. And now that we're done with that, we're going to work on focusing on the top and bottom rim. So just like I normally would do with a wrapped cup, I'm going to just pull very tautly on the top rim as nice as I can, but being careful, keeping in mind that, remember, this does not stretch like a regular opaque vinyl, so I don't want to overstretch it and pull and rip the vinyl, which then could rip what's on my cup. So I'm going to just pull very tautly down over the bottom edge, making sure that I get a nice clean rim on the bottom edge and I don't have any wrinkling or bunching up. Do the exact same thing with the top rim, and then we'll take my craft knife to be able to run that very carefully along that top inner rim to remove all the excess vinyl that's over the top here. So make sure you have a nice new blade on your craft knife. I always feel like a fresh blade works the best. Try not to use a blade that you've been using for quite a while. Otherwise, you might struggle a little bit trying to get this piece or section off, and then may end up with some bunching while you're trying to cut this off. Then we're just going to take my craft knife and very carefully cut along the bottom edge. You could use a cup edging tool, which I do have. I just decided to freehand this because I did know that I was going to be adding glitter to the bottom anyway, so I was okay if there was going to be a little bit of an unevenness, because of course I don't know how to cut a straight line to save my life, but I knew that it would be and look fine enough and would be hidden under the glitter that we're going to be adding. At this point, I'm just going to go around and make sure there aren't any air bubbles trapped under the vinyl, and if there is, I'm just making a small slit in them and then just letting the air release from beneath them so that I don't have any of that showing after I do my next coat of epoxy. So now that I'm done kind of looking this and giving it a once over, it's going to go back on the turner for one more coat of epoxy so we can go ahead and then add glitter in our next step. After our coat of epoxy, we're going to be using Snowtastic, which is a white matte custom mix. It's a chunky and fine cut glitter, but it is a matte glitter, which means that it doesn't have as much sparkle as a regular glitter would. But I really do love matte glitters, and this one especially, because to me it very much mimics what it would look like with snow outside. So I thought it would be super cute to add this to kind of the top and bottom edge of the cup here to kind of just give it a little extra, pizzazz, if you will. So we're going to take some Mod Podge and a paintbrush, and you'll notice that I did put the glitter inside of a medicine cup, I just found that it would be a little bit easier for me to control how I added the glitter to the bottom and top edge with it being in a medicine cup versus it being in the entire shaker bottle. So I didn't cover the entire cup with Mod Podge. I really just went up about a quarter of the way up, or a third of the way up the cup with my Mod Podge, knowing that I wanted a bit of it to kind of ombre up and kind of have just a little bit of drizzling up towards that top portion of that third, but keeping in mind that I didn't want it to overtake the entire cup, which is why I didn't do the entire cup in Mod Podge. We're going to repeat the same exact steps with the top portion. So just going around with some Mod Podge, making sure to get a nice even coat of Mod Podge, going about a third down or a third of the way down the cup so that we can add our glitter. Then going back in with Snowtastic, making sure to douse the rim really well and get a nice, strong line of glitter there, and then pulling my hand away and slowly but surely letting that fall out of the cup, that glitter, onto that Mod Podged area to give myself that kind of faded ombre look. So this is going to dry. I'll spray seal it and then put it back on the turner for one more coat of epoxy, of course, to be ready for decals. So now we're going to move on to adding our final touches and decals to the cup. I got all of the files that I'm using today from Creative Fabrica. I did not add a tutorial in Cricut for this, but I will be adding one soon to talk about specifically doing offset features, so stay tuned for that. So I picked up this really cute fancy frame from Creative Fabrica, and it already came with the outset or offset part of the file. So I cut the inner portion on white vinyl and the outer portion on a sort of silver metallic color. And then I have a cute little warm winter wishes decal that is a PNG that I just printed on some clear water slide. So we're going to go ahead and layer this first. So layering the white center on the inner portion of that silver sort of bracket frame we have going on, using my squeegee to add these two together, and then we're going to be adhering this entire section to the cup first. So the section that I chose to adhere the sort of decal to is exactly where the vinyl lines up. So right along that seam, I just felt like it would be a great opportunity to try and cover up as much of the seam as possible. So we're going to place this literally directly on the center portion of the seam. So getting that adhered right in the center and then smoothing from the inward to the outward sections of the decal to make sure to squeeze out any of the air bubbles that may be trapped underneath. Then just remove the transfer tape, and then I'll spend a little bit of time just making sure that any of the bubbles that may have been trapped are just easily sliced out with just my craft knife, putting a nice slit right through them and then releasing the air so I have a beautiful smooth surface to be able to work with. And of course, you guys know I can't just only add the bracket decal work here. We're going to go back to those cute little snowflakes that I printed on that silver holographic Teckwrap vinyl, and we are going to be adding these to the cup as well. I always keep on hand any extras that I have specifically for this reason, because I always find that sometimes I just want to add a little bit of extra, and these honestly were perfect. So this is from my Let It Snow Tumbler tutorial that I did a couple of weeks ago. And so we're just going to add the rest of these snowflakes that I had left in this holographic silver, just kind of around the cup again to just kind of bring out that winter theme that we're going for when it comes to this tumbler. So just finishing up, kind of getting the rest of those adhered with my transfer tape, just kind of scattering them throughout the cup in kind of those open spaces. Tried very hard to not put them over any of the actual floral pieces that were part of the vinyl, but more of the open spaces that was created from, the clear portions of the vinyl. So once I'm done with that, the very final piece we're going to do is to be adding the water slide to the white center decal on the front. So now, of course, onto the water slide. I've just put that water slide in my lukewarm water right next to me here, and I've just put my hand in the water to, of course, get the surface of my cup wet. Remember, we want a nice slippery surface in order to get this to adhere to the tumbler nicely. So I'm just going to adhere that by just very carefully anchoring one edge and removing the backing. This is a small decal, so I do prefer to use smaller decals. They're the easiest to work with, and to be able to just get that backing removed and then spend a little extra time, squeegeeing out that water with my little silicone silicone brush. So make sure to get all of that excess water out from underneath. Make sure you don't have any wrinkles and that it is centered and placed right where you want it. Then you can dab that with a paper towel. And of course, this is going to go right back on the turner for final coats of epoxy. So here's the final look at today's cup. This is just one way that you could use some of the amazing glitter and vinyl that was part of the November vinyl bundle. I definitely can't wait to see if you guys want to recreate this, or if you take all of the different parts of that bundle and create something unique. Definitely make sure to tag me whenever you do. And of course, if you loved today's video, give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And of course, you guys know I'll see you in the next one. Bye!